Welcome to 401 Sunset, where we bring you to you, Windsor. I'm your host, Jake Sayami.
And I'm Jacqueline Hennon.
Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the top stories in Windsor, both on and off campus.
We have news from around the city, a musical act, and we take to the streets to see what you have to say.
It's our first show of the new year, but believe me, it's going to be a good one.
I think we can all agree on the importance of education, and that's exactly what our next segment is about. So let's take a look.
Okay, so the key with differentiation, the process that the government is currently instituting with public universities, is to get them to identify 4 or 5 major components, and right now it's 5. What this is going to do is it's not going to really change the amount of funding available to universities. It's asking them to prioritize a limited number of their programs through strategic goals. The result is if you don't fall into these strategic priorities, your program will be cut. It's guaranteed.
My name is Stephanie Curry, and I'm currently pursuing an undergraduate degree in developmental psychology and criminology.
My name is Ebenezer. I'm in my last year in human kinetics with a major of sport management with a minor in communications.
My name is Allison Hornby. This is my first year at Windsor University, and I'm studying a Master's of Education.
My name is Kara Gordon. I'm in the 2-year Master of Social Work program in my first year.
My name is Mohammed Akbar. I was last year's Vice President of University Affairs of the University of Windsor Students Alliance, and I'm this year's Vice President External.
Yeah, I think segregating the arts and humanities can make students really become segregated and create a hierarchy between the different programs.
So I feel like just separating the arts and the social sciences from the natural sciences and engineering, it just limits that even more, because like the networks and just networking in general and just the connections that you make at university, and that's what university is about, right? It's about making connections that could impact you later on in your life. You know, you never know where a job opportunity is going to come from, and that job opportunity may not come from the arts. I could get a job opportunity from someone who's engineering. I could have a job opportunity from someone who's in a science. So I feel like the weaker programs such as humanities and arts are ones that actually, develop your mind, develop you mentally, develop just your character as a person.
I don't think it's fair for the government to really have their hand in what programs to take out. You know what I mean? It's like they're trying to dictate what people's futures should be. But I do agree that they should put more money into stronger programs that are going to help economic growth. But I don't really agree with taking away from programs that they may feel aren't really economically, I don't think it's really their say to dictate what people should get into. So if someone wants to get into the humanities or arts, it should be their choice and not the government's, right?
I think it's really not right or fair, and I think it would affect me because as someone going into a career that's aimed at helping others, it's not necessarily a career that makes a lot of money, so putting myself further into debt would be something that would concern me. And I also did my undergrad in psychology, which is something that I'm really interested in, but again, putting myself further into something that doesn't have much gain.
Well, considering that I am a part of one of those that are known as the weaker programs, obviously that really affects me, and I think that's very insulting.
And I think the arts and humanities are very important. As an art teacher, I think that there's a lot of things that art can bring to a community, and especially an academic community.
And a lot of people within the sciences and stuff like that have minors in a lot of the arts and stuff like that too. So taking away from those programs also take away from their strengths.
Students going downtown are going to face issues because already the university has said that they're going to combine multiple programs into one. There's been cuts to labor studies in recent months, cuts to labor studies, cuts to communication, cuts to a lot of arts and social science programs. Anthropology especially, and music therapy has all but been eliminated, even though it was one of the most strong programs in terms of music therapy in the country.
I mean, I got a lot of friends in all faculties within the university in different programs, so I mean, it affects me if it affects them, right? So I think.
Well, there's no doubt that, we need to have these humanity programs as well as the art programs because, let's face it, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
No, I completely agree. I think we've had so many opportunities so far with the arts program, and I believe we could have so many more opportunities if we got the funding.
Yeah. Well, on a lighter note, Engineers Without Borders is going green with a local initiative to do some composting. And as well, they have an unlikely hero.
Sustainability means maintaining what we have now to sustain for to get ready for the future.
University of Windsor chapter of Engineers Without Borders. It's a NGO dedicated to ending extreme poverty in sub-Saharan Africa.
The way I perceive sustainability is making use of everything we can get in the environment, putting them into practice.
It's like a whole different food web. It's more than just the environment. It goes hand in hand with food, and pretty much everybody has an effect on it no matter what you're doing. Even just your breathing is affecting all sustainability.
And there's ventures, which are basically teams working towards certain goals within that EWB has set out to help us in our goal to eradicate poverty.
So the sustainability venture is actually a new venture of EWB. It's meant to kind of be like an incubator of ideas. Right now what we're working on is composting. We got a grant from the Lancer Fund grant. So we have a bit over $1,000 to work on some outdoor composters and some indoor vermi composters.
In the indoor composting, we use bacteria to decompose our waste products. And I've actually learned that it's not compulsory we take our composting structures outside, that we can actually maintain it inside the room.
Today we made 3 vermicomposter bins, and basically what it is there's 2 bins inside of each other, and there's worms in the first one, so they're going to be fed food scraps, mostly vegetable and fruit food scraps that are right now being thrown away in the garbage. And what's going to happen is basically they eat it and they break it down, and we use the waste they make, their worm tea. By reducing waste and basically saving the energy, so no energy is lost through the food system, so instead of food scraps going to the waste, it's actually being re-implemented into either community gardens or any soil. We used some newspaper donated by the Lance. We used some worms donated by Steve Green. We used red wriggler worms. They're indoor worms. And we used 6 Rubbermaid bins from Canadian Tire. So 3 were smaller than the other 3, so that we're putting them inside each other. And we used a drill to drill some holes. We drilled some holes in the smaller bin and in the lid of the smaller bin, just for aeration and so that the liquid of the first bin goes into the second bin. And then we basically shredded up some newspapers and put it in the first bin, the smaller one, and then added some worms and fed them. And then we're basically doing a lasagna structure, so we're putting some newspaper every time we feed them so that the worms will go to the food, which is going to be on top, so that when we want to go and separate the worms from the compost, all the worms will be at the top where the food is, and the compost will stay at the bottom. They don't eat all the foods, so no dairy, no meat, no bones, very little grains, no onions or citrus, so no orange peels, lemon peels, no salty foods or oils. So pretty much you're pretty limited to almost like a vegan diet, but you're feeding them twice a week and you're making sure they have water. And that's pretty much it. As long as they don't go outside in the cold or the burning hot, they'll be okay.
What I think about it is just like making the world green, as the technologists would say. We have been able to build some things from the waste products.
Doing something like this, to having the people around that we have around, it makes it a lot more enjoyable, and it's for a good cause.
You know, we talk about equality among so many levels, but what about the equality of species? I mean, it seems like a lot of work for those worms to be doing. Who's looking out for the worms?
Our next segment finds Alex Eden at the University of Windsor campus asking students and faculty members their opinions on the Canadian prostitution laws.
This is Alex Eden, and I'm in the CAW Student Center asking the people here a very controversial question. Let's see how it goes. I'm standing here today with
Richard Lansbury,
Sean Summerdike,
Umar Shahid,
Bailey Christensen.
The Canadian government is possibly going to decriminalize prostitution in the next year. What are your thoughts on this action?
My thoughts are basically whatever makes things safer for women, especially in that industry. There's always going to be people working in the sex trade, and if it makes it safer for them, then why not?
I think it's a really good step towards, giving everyone the rights that they deserve, because a person's body is their own, and no one should be able to tell them what they're allowed to do with it. That being said, I think they also need to take some precautionary measures to ensure that people going into this industry are being protected, and that there is some sort of enforcement to ensure that everyone involved in the industry is safe and healthy and protected from unsavory types.
I don't know exactly how I should feel about this, but from my understanding, what I know is that the only industry where women can make a good amount of money is the prostitution industry, and which is sad actually. I believe women shouldn't be seen as sexual objects. They should also work in other engineering professions, medical professions also, and therefore legalizing prostitution won't actually solve the problem, what I believe, because we should encourage women to go into professions and help them get them educated. And basically legalizing prostitution will help the women that cannot afford anything, because this is the only industry literally where they can make money if they have no education, no background, no trade, no nothing. And it is easy. It's not easy money. It's also it comes with a lot of implications such as diseases, and some people might beat them up, whatever. And I don't think that's right. But legalizing is a step at least, helping this woman to get some money and survive, maybe.
Positive. I think it should be not a Catholic position or a Geo-Christian position. This is about protecting the safety and the rights of workers who are presently out on our streets unprotected without having to be able to have official brothels. This is something that people have decided they want to be able to do with their lives, and they should be fully appointed with the laws and conditions that allow them the freedom to carry out their positions without having to be able to be looking at jail time, which is only punitive and damaging for all.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your input.
From legislation, we go to live music. We're going to be taking a look at new band, Violent Vatican, and we're going to be seeing some of their new music videos as well as a little bit of information on their venue.
I'm Dane.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Mike.
I'm Ben. Play guitar.
Tenor saxophone.
Play drums.
I play bass. We're from Violent Vatican. Oh, I was in a band before, and me and another member from that band decided to use our jam space longer, so we started jamming together. And we created some weird music and decided to add in a weird instrument, which came the saxophone. It was weird. And after that, it kind of faded away, but then got back together with a new lineup, new bass player and a new drummer, and yeah, just been playing her ever since.
Dane asked me to play, he's seen me before in other bands. Just figured it'd be a good fit.
I heard that Dane needed a bassist, so I jumped on and played bass.
Yeah, I just saw an ad in the paper, started playing drums in a pipe band for a bit, and then kind of progressed and got the drum kit and played through school and multiple bands and just practice. Dane usually will come up with something, and he'll just bring it to us, and I got this pattern, and I'll kind of build off that and fill everything in piece by piece.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a lot of styles of music built into it, so it really challenges you, like, as a musician.
Okay, how did I get into music?
How did you get into music?
Well, I just happen to have this photo on me today. And,
why don't you zoom it in there for him, bud?
Yep. That's how I started playing music. I was around some cool toys when I was little. And then at some point in grade school, I realized, like, hey, I didn't really participate in any school sports or anything. And I thought I should just try something. I just tried band and started playing with a bunch of friends and stuff growing up.
I got into music by going to the Gino A. Marcus Center and watching punk shows like over a decade ago now. But I remember just seeing people my own age like playing instruments and giving her, and I was like, yeah, I could give her too.
I always liked music, and I thought it would be a good way to express myself.
So we have a new music video that we just shot today, and it's going to be coming out. It's off of our first demo CD that we did it ourselves. So it's looking to drop sometime in February. We're playing our first show February 21st at the Coach and Horses with Uncle Ray, Lapsyria, with Antagonizer, and Corrupt Leaders. It's their vinyl release. And then we will be playing a house show at Brick House March 15th with a band that doesn't have a name yet, a band called Thick as Thieves, and a band called Weirdonia, and that's our CD release. And we're also playing a show March 28th at the Coach and Horses with Gag Order from Brantford and The Line Drawn from Windsor.
That was pretty good, actually.
I loved it.
Did you? Did you like the horse mask, too?
I love the horse mask. You have a horse mask, don't you?
I do, but we won't talk about that right now.
Oh, okay.
Our next segment features a familiar and pretty face, if I might add, my co-host, Jacqueline Hennon. You have anything to say about that, Jacqueline?
So we went around asking students their opinions and suggestions on the St. Denis Center gym, which is the Forge, and how they felt about their gym membership fees being included in their tuition. I'm Jacqueline Hennon, and I'm here at the Forge, the University of Windsor's very own gym, here to talk to students about their experiences and personal opinions about the gym. So are you just on your way in to do a workout?
Yep, heading there now. Love the gym. I'm there almost every day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what is it specifically that you love most about the gym?
Well, play for the football team, the Lancers. There every day just to train and get better. Just love the environment. A lot of good people to talk to in there too.
I like the fact that students have access to the pool. That's kind of cool. The variety of machines, treadmills, weights, whatever you want to do. I think they got a good variety of stuff. There is sometimes some clutter if you go, but you pick the right times to go. It's not as bad as the others.
So do you work out at the Forge, the gym at the university?
Yeah, I do on occasion.
So what is it about the gym that you like?
I kind of like the diversity of machines. There's a lot to offer there. It's open extended hours, so I mean you can go at any day of the week, any time of the day.
I like that it's a pretty judgment-free zone. You don't really go in there feeling intimidated by anyone else. You kind of go in there, everyone's just doing their own thing, and there are people that are willing to help out as well.
So do you work out at the gym at the St. Denis Center?
No, actually I go to Lifestyles on Central.
So why do you work out at another gym when you have a gym that's included in your tuition?
I worked out at the Forge a couple times. I find that it's too crowded. I feel like there's not enough equipment, and also like the times aren't too convenient.
So do you work out at the gym at the St. Denis Center?
I do. It's really convenient to have it right there.
So what is it about the gym that you like and makes you keep coming back?
I think it's mostly, to be honest, just if you have a break in the middle of the day, it's easy to just kind of walk over there. You don't have to worry about driving to a different gym or anything. And I did a ballroom dance class there last year, so it's fun to have the actual classes, and you don't have to worry about whether or not you know how to use any of the machines or anything. You can just do your own thing.
So do you work out at the gym at the St. Denis Center?
No.
So what are your reasons for that?
Well, it is convenient, but there's too many people there. It's a bit too crowded sometimes, so that's kind of why.
I like going to my gym because there's more weights, better equipment, more variety. There's better music in my gym, better locker rooms, pretty much everything.
Well, I like that it's on campus. It's included in my tuition already, so I go there instead of paying to go somewhere else, you know?
Like, I like the idea that if I absolutely had to go to a gym, I could go there because it's paid for, but at the same time, because I don't utilize it at all right now, it does feel like a waste of money.
Are you happy with the gym, or?
I am, but lately it's been really crowded, and I think that there should be like more equipment
more space, stuff like that. There's not a lot of girls there though that go, so I'm kind of shocked. I mean, girls need to go more, but I think more equipment.
And there you have it, folks. Seems our general consensus would like to see a little bit more positive changes with the gym, especially since it's included in our tuition. But hopefully the university will look into it and we'll see those positive changes, and that'll encourage more students to want to come and work out. And last and certainly not least, we take a look at a new and exciting program at the Art Gallery of Windsor that gives the young and the old alike a chance to explore their creativity.
Sounds exciting. Let's take a look.
So my name is Hiba Abdullah, and I'm one of the studio instructors at the Art Gallery of Windsor. So I did a studio today called Lost and Found, and where I collected a bunch of recycled materials, and then the people who came in got to take those materials and kind of refurbish them in a sense and make new objects out of what would have just been thrown out. When I was coming up with ideas, Selena, who runs Sundays in the Studios, told me to kind of think about the types of things I did when I was in school. So I was trained in drawing and sculpture, and for me, like, found objects have always been something that I've been inspired by and that I've kind of worked with. So it kind of made a lot of sense to bring it to Sundays in the Studio. I shadowed a couple of the other studio instructors beforehand to kind of get an idea of how the studios run and that kind of thing, and then I was allowed to come up with my own studio idea, which is what I did today, and no, it was exciting, it was fun.
Can you briefly introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Nicholas, this is my daughter Alexis, my son Sebastian.
And I'm Linda. Hi. Okay, this is my two daughters. Elizabeth is 4.5 years old, and then Victoria is 2.5 years old. What did you guys do today? You want to show me?
Alina made a little snowman inside of a bottle.
The theme here was trying to put some man-made materials, but then illustrate nature, sort of, the rebirth of nature and taking over man-made materials. So that's what we were trying to do here. Sebi, you want to add something? Alexis? No? What did you make, Alexis? What's that?
I made a flower out of clay, and then I just put some glitter onto it.
Oh, that's very beautiful.
And what is that?
Oh! Okay, Christmas tree.
Do you guys like it?
It's awesome.
Very
It's
enjoyable.
fantastic. Did you guys like it?
And I really like how every time you come in there's a new theme, and there's other pieces of art and books that are also in place around the studio so that you can also get inspired to mix your ideas with theirs and come up with something crazy like this.
It's very organized, provide a lot of things for the children to learn. It has a lot of exposures. Also give us, even the parents a lot of opportunities. Try to, get involved with the children. So I think it's a really great program. Any commentaries or advices that you want to give?
I think it's just a great way for people to start to become more and more creative. And the cost of it is fantastic. It's a free event, which helps for families. Yeah.
We definitely enjoy it. I mean, it'd be nice if they had maybe perhaps artists come in, maybe amateur artists or local artists to give lessons in maybe some processes, something a little bit more advanced. That would be nice, also, of course. But I think this workshop is geared more towards children. So it's not meant to be anything but just allowing them to be creative. But
But not that the adults don't have fun either.
No, for sure.
I think that it was great that a lot of people came by, even though the weather was kind of bad outside. So that was nice, and it was nice to see families here with their kids working on objects. And it's always interesting to see the types of people that come. Like, it ranges really from really, really young kids to older, sometimes even retired people. So it's nice to see the variations from week to week.
I actually did a bit of arts and crafts before the show. I took a little orange and I drew a face on him, and then named him OJ. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lunch today, so OJ won't be joining us.
All right, well, that wraps up our show today. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed it.
I know I did. Listen, we're trying to have a good show here. We know you guys want to enjoy a good show, so why don't you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and send us an email with some suggestions that we could possibly put in the show. Signing off, I'm Jake Sayami.
And I'm Jacqueline Hennon.
Thank you for watching 401 Sunset, where we bring you to Windsor.